So what we'd like to do now is we'd like to open it up. If you have some questions about the program, we'll do our best to answer them. And or a question about something that we shared this evening that you'd like to know a little bit more about. All right, we'll bring you a microphone, and if you just stand up and then say your name.
Here's a microphone.
Hello. Thank you. My name is Gay Thomas Wilson, and thank you so much for all you do. It seems really amazing and needed. One of the things I've been thinking about is in coming to the program, you are obviously applying these principles to your own life and learning how to live this way and becoming more spiritual and more aware and awakening. But then there's that aspect of, do people leave the program able to help other people do the same thing? And that was kind of what I wondered about. Are you prepared? Would I be prepared to help someone else who is not in the class, is maybe someone in my life or whatever? How does that work?
Yes, we have had a 2-year master's program with options that people could, other programs that people could take following that. One of those options has been a soul-centered coaching program, a 7-month soul-centered coaching program. And we intend to continue offering that. It's very possible that we will develop a soul-centered living 2 that would assist people in doing a deeper level of work. From our point of view, the most important credential that a person really has, if they want to work with others, is the transformation of their own consciousness. This work is designed to do that. I would certainly say that for our students who complete the 2 years and go on and do the soul-centered coaching program, they are extremely well prepared to work with others, extremely. And there are some graduates of the coaching program here in the room this evening. Tammy Scott is, Mike Murphy, Usman, Gabriella, people that you could talk to about how they are using their USM education professionally.
In addition to what Mary said, when we got into the whole coaching thing, what we realized by calling it soul-centered coaching, most coaching, the great majority of it, is all goal line. Mm-hmm. So part of it largely depends upon how you want to coach people. This is why we call it soul-centered coaching. So you will learn a whole set of skills and a way of being that, assuming that you've been living into them and learning how to use these tools by doing them, you become expert in that area. By expert, I don't mean you're the best in the world. I mean that to me, the true professional is one who can do the thing that they're teaching, as opposed to those professionals who can just talk about it. There's a big, big difference. But the guy sitting behind you, for example, had a very big corporate job for many, many, many years, and he would tell us, in fact he did tell us, and everybody else, if you care to look on YouTube, that if he knew about USM 35 years ago, he would have been at every graduation recruiting, because he realized that the kinds of things would have saved the company millions and millions of dollars, because so many of the fights and things that people engage in would not have happened. So you get to choose what's going to be where you want to do your coaching. But I would say that this is what I said in the beginning, the whole thing is shifting upward. You will be in a very, very, very strong position, but how you learn to take that and then use it, and how you market yourself and what you call yourself, and that largely is going to be totally up to you. That's why we started the coaching program, to give people some skills in how to move in that direction. But we also had, for many years, we're using these skills as the basis for a separate master's degree in preparing people to sit for the license exam for the marriage and family therapist.
These
But that's
skills,
a whole different process that requires many, many more hours and all kinds of tests to take and all that. Coaching seemed to be a much easier way to do it.
what's beautiful about learning these skills and about the way students learn them at USM, they actually are learning the skills and how to utilize them with others through the experience that they have in the classroom, but they also are participating in the transformational work in their own consciousness. And really, I just want to emphasize, it's not the technique that is what is facilitative or curative. It is the way the technique is used, and that is dependent on the consciousness and the presence of the other person, of the person who's facilitating. And it was so lovely when our friend Robert Holden was here for the Soul Center Coaching Lab, and he had not met these students previously, but he spoke to us about, and he spoke with the students about, you have been uniquely prepared. You are truly soul-centered professional counselors. You could go into any boardroom in this world and you could deliver value to the boards that were sitting there. And he was really encouraging them to stand up in the knowing of who they are and of what they can bring to the table. So,
one of the experiences that you'll start having, because how do we know that? That's what people report to us. All of a sudden, they find people starting to just naturally come to them, asking them about things because they recognize that you have a level of knowing that they don't have. Not knowledge, knowing.
it's a big difference.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
So I
And
trust that answers
part
your
of what
question.
I love about this program is that while we do a lot of work in the classroom that's designed to assist people in their healing, the focus is always on the wholeness of who they are. That's a very, very important thing in working with other people. I think there was another question over here too. I saw another hand. Yes.
Here's a microphone. Just say it
Larry,
first.
hi.
That's
Hi.
for the TV people, otherwise they can't hear you.
Can you talk about the week that we'll have in the summer?
Oh my
Sure.
God. Yes, I can. We just finished that a couple of weeks or so ago. It was extraordinary. Oh my gosh. It was truly an experience of such deep healing, such revelation of the authentic self. People were having amazing experiences of awakening. It was like popcorn in there. You know, it's like they were just all popping. What can I say? And it was magical and wonderful. It was, I thought it was the most extraordinary first-year lab that we had ever had. And let's see, there were people who were in the room for that, if you were, and would be willing to speak to this gentleman about it, to tell him more specifically, because I'm just hitting the high notes.
But here's one way you might think about it. If you think about a weekend, you could think about it, see how can I say this? The group itself becomes a field of energy within which extraordinary things can happen because the sum of the energy is greater than the sum of each individual person's energy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So a normal weekend is 2.5 days. So you come into the lab, You get to the end of the 2.5 days, and we still got a whole 2.5 days left. So by this time, people know each other well enough, and they trust each other well enough that they dare to take the plunge to deeper levels. And that's why we have the lab at the end, because it's a way to just really go into the depth. We're tomorrow night, Mary and I leave for the desert, Palm Springs desert, and where we do a practicum for the second year people who are in the current master's program that are graduating. And now picture, you've been doing this for 9 weeks, 9 weekends, a lab, 9 more weekends, which go deeper and deeper and deeper. And now they're going into the practicum, where we have opportunities to do things that we can't even do in the first year lab. It's always a highlight of the year. Sometimes we have to scrape people off the walls in order to bring them back.
Well, it's not quite like that, but it really is extraordinary, because people do have they have their own experience of that authentic self or soul level inside of them, and that is, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Other questions? Anything else that somebody would like to ask?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's bring a mic down here. Hold it.
She'll bring you the mic. That way everyone can.
No.
It's just the streaming people can't hear unless we use the mic.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Your name?
Milo.
Milo.
Yeah, I have a question now. I became nervous. So.
Hold the mic near your mouth.
Okay. Yes. So I wonder, all these tools you're speaking about, I guess that you collected them.
We collected them? No, we developed them.
You developed them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so my question was actually, how did you put this program, 30 soul-centered skills for all these tools, how did you, why did you choose these
One by
ones?
one.
Well, and really, this is called, are you good at taking dictation?
She doesn't know what you mean by that.
In other words, spirit inspired.
Okay. Okay, my next question.
See, when you dedicate yourself to something, you start to receive assistance from that loving energy field that you're attempting to immerse yourself in. It's called inspiration. And so you also have to keep in mind that we've been working at this for 35 years.
Yeah.
So that's less than 1 skill a year.
But there are many other skills, because there are skills that are part of the second year program, there are skills that are part of the CHH program, there are skills that are part of the coaching program.
All right, 4 a year.
Well, no, I mean,
I was just curious how you put them together.
Well,
Because
really,
there's so many skills out there.
you know, it was a combination of inspiration, as Ron said. It was in part it was dedication. In part of it was just paying attention to what was going on and what would serve the students, and then asking for guidance, and it would come forward. So it's really been a labor of love. It still is. And as Ron said, in devoting ourselves to this, it's like we became probably the primary students of spiritual psychology. Are we answering what you're asking?
And one very boring question, which is it evidence-based? Like, did you try it on samples?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
When you say evidence-based, I assume you mean experiential evidence?
Personal, I guess.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Did you try it, and test it
Yeah.
in groups?
See, we had an advantage in that because we had the classes, we could try things out and get immediate feedback.
And
Okay,
really,
so that kind of evidence.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, what other kind is there, really?
Yeah, no, that's very important. I believe in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Where are you from?
Sweden.
Sweden.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, Matt?
My name is Matt, and last weekend I attended your workshop.
Oh, the
Yeah.
loyalty to
Obviously, it
yourself?
had an effect because I'm here tonight.
Yes.
And just a quick question. Is the curriculum for the 10-month program going to be based on your loyalty to your soul book? Are you going to follow that same curriculum?
Not,
It goes way beyond that.
So it's basically the guideline, though, if you read the book and follow the...
see, the book was an attempt to take a lot of the basics and to put it into a format that it could be distributed in a book form that someone could read rather than coming into like a 10-month master's degree program, for which a lot of people, it's just impossible. But to take the information and some of the skills that go along with it, just so people would have a sense of when they would read that, the idea was it would resonate for people who are ready to hear that kind of information. It's not for everybody. This isn't for everybody.
See, and the other thing I would say, it's like in reading Loyalty to Your Soul, which is an excellent foundation for this work, it'll help people understand the spiritual context. It will give, it will cover the major topics that we covered in Loyalty to Your Soul, but it's like that's what's in that book. And so maybe there are like 7 soul-centered skills in that book. And in the first year, in this 10-month program, there are 30. So that gives you some idea of just the richness, the dimensionality. In Loyalty to Your Soul, the book, or the workshop, we don't talk at all about co-creating your life and the tools that we include in the 10-month program that have that focus and purpose.
Yeah, so it sounds like it was just scratching the surface.
That's right.
Well, see, but that was the idea of it, to give people a taste,
Right.
so that they would have a sense of what
It's-
they
it's-
were getting involved in.
It's like core elements are in Loyalty to Your Soul. And there's so much more.
Great,
But
thank you.
the one
Yeah.
big thing that's not in the book and can't be in the book is the experience. See,
The practical experience of being involved in the classroom.
That's
like when
right.
you take some of those skills that are in the book and they're truncated, they're much more. They have much more breadth and depth to them when we do them in the program. But in the book, all you can really do is read them and maybe answer the questions yourself. It's very different from being in a trio where you're practicing the skill and someone else is sharing something real and someone else is observing and then giving feedback and then switching and doing it. It's just, just a whole different thing.
One last quick question. Is there going to be a lot of first or second years that are going to be attending, maybe assisting in this 10-year program? Or 10-month
Absolutely.
program?
We have
We always have a wonderful assisting team, and these people, by and large, are graduates of the 2-year program.
The reason I ask that is because the trios that we were involved with during the workshop, I found them to be so much more effective when I had somebody who's been partially through the program or graduated from the program. I mean, it's a big difference.
I really hear you, and isn't that a testimonial for the program
Yeah,
itself?
absolutely.
When you sit with those people who have done the work and who have been engaged in the process of learning the skills over time, and you really start seeing their facility in using them. I
See,
really
but-
hear you on that point.
But also, consider this. See, if you have only people who have been through the program in those positions where they're working with you in the trio, the risk that you run is that you start to think, well, the way they're doing it is the right way. See, and we would much rather have people who were learning their own way as they go. So we tell them up front, you can't do it wrong. There's no wrong way to do it, because it's not about doing it right, it's about learning. It's about what's your experience when you're in the trio. That's where the real learning occurs. So it's just, but I'll tell you that what we have done that is where we do a prison project. And we'll, twice a year, we'll send up about 70 graduates working with about 200 inmates, and we try to have one graduate in each trio. And those prove very helpful. But
they're having one weekend.
they're having one
Only.
weekend only, and typically you're not dealing with a level of, how can I say this without it sounding judgmental? You're not dealing with people who have a lot of experience in a lot of different ways that people who would come into this
Totally
would have.
different challenges.
So
Yeah,
totally
that's
different
right.
challenges.
Well said.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I think we'll turn it over back to Barry. And where is, oh, there he is.
Here he is.
And one of the things that we said, but I want to say it again, because I don't think we said it in a way that was clear enough. Those 33 principles, there is a catalog that's now online, that's downloadable, and there's a page in that lists all the 33 principles, it lists all the 30 skills, so you have an opportunity to take a look at them and you see what they look like. So Mary and I will be in the back if you want to come say hi or talk to us, we'll be there. And
Thank you so much
Barry, you
for
make
coming.
amends to your parents.